What were the issues you were facing before you came to me for this parent coaching program?
I came in with the feeling that something was just not clicking with my daughter. At that stage, I was more leaning towards the idea that maybe she needed a bit of help. But as I talked to Sunena, it became clearer that my attitude towards a lot of things, not just her, a lot of things going on around me, needed to change. So the working had to be on me, had to be on my awareness, my listening better, and in my case, reacting slower, or maybe just being a better listener than being the person who looks out or struggles, in a sense, to fix everything in the moment.
So you were the fix-it mother.
Yes. I've been a fix-it person for a long time, I guess. But it was backfiring to a large extent. Because rather than making her more confident, I guess she wasn't coming out of her shell enough to try, maybe fail, maybe pick herself up and solve the problem on her own. I was more focused on just sorting it out rather than just listening. Maybe if she needs discussing it.
And how have you changed as a mother?
I think my biggest change that has given me a lot of relief is the fact that now I feel I'm not 100% responsible for everybody's reactions or everybody's difficulties being fixed. There are things I can fix, there are things beyond me. Then it's a question of just listening and being around for whoever needs me around. And the other thing is taking a pause, which is again very difficult because my first instinct is to step in, sort it all out, tie it in a bow, and give it back to the person. So that is a huge change as far as I'm concerned, where I listen. I listen very being in the moment, thinking about what that person is going through, what do they need from me, and what is it I can give back, which is going in a constructive way and which is going to help, especially my child. And I guess this has not just helped me and my child communicate better, it's helped me be calmer. Because that is something I think over the last 15 to 20 years I've lost somewhere. The person who was a laid back, take it as it comes person has changed a lot over the last many years. So I think I'm able to go back baby steps towards that. Where certain things I just have to let go. It's not in my control to fix or bring it to my lane the way I wanted to. So that acceptance is slowly, with steps forward and backwards, it is coming into focus a little more. And I think at the end of the day, it is improving my relationship with my husband.
Do you feel a sense of relief? It sounds like you said.
Oh, huge sense of relief. It's as if there's a burden off my shoulders where I had to be. It's like being put on, what do you call it for the army? It's something where you are on standby.
Reserve.
No. Where you are ready to be called into action at any moment. That is how I've lived my life the last few years. And people have remarked on that, who have known me from childhood. They've remarked on how much I've changed as far as my laid back, calm demeanor goes. So I know it's not just something I've imagined. So this has definitely made me more settled. I'm sure health-wise also it's going to be nothing but benefits out of this.
Oh, awesome. And what is your feedback with regard to the program, the 4 weeks?
Set aside 2 hours every week for 4 weeks.
1.5
Yeah, I think it's 100% worth it. And if you look at the work that we are required to do, where you're sitting and doing something, it's not a huge amount. It depends on what the extent to which you want to do it. There are people I'm sure who can do 2 or 3 lines, that's it. But there are things in which once you start sitting and writing, you realize there's a lot of things you don't mind putting pen to paper. And the moment you finish doing that, there is a certain relief and a certain, perspective shift slightly from what you have thought about that situation or what you thought about that incident to, maybe this need not have been so stressful in hindsight. So that, I think, is something we can all make time for, because quite often, even now, like I came in, the focus was on getting my child sorted out. And it turns out I just needed to sort out my feelings and my reactions. So I think it's 100% worth it. Not just for your child, for your life, your relationships, whether it's with your friend, your parents, your husband, your wife, any sphere, this comes into play.
And lastly, how was your experience coming to me, Sunana, as a coach?
We are absolutely delighted, both of us. There's no question about that, because you've handled personal stuff very well. We've not felt embarrassed to open up to you. We've never had the feeling that you're going to sit there and judge us, which is a huge thing you come with. You're going to open up yourself, so are there going to be judgments? So you've always been supportive. Even if it's a step forward and couple of steps backward, you've always told us, as long as you are making an attempt the next time to step forward, those step backs will happen. You just keep working. So those are really encouraging words.